He is God, O Lord, my God, my well-beloved. He is God, O Lord, my God, my well-beloved. These are servants of thine. These are servants of thine that have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. That have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. They have believed in thee, witnessed thy wonders, acknowledged thy proof, and testified to thine evidence, and testified to thine evidence. He is God, O Lord, my God, my well-beloved. He is God, O Lord, my God, my well-beloved. These are servants of thine. These are servants of thine that have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. That have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. They have believed in thee, witnessed thy wonders, acknowledged thy proof, and testified to thine evidence, and testified to thine evidence. These are servants of thine. These are servants of thine that have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. That have heard thy voice, given ear to thy word, and hearken to thy call. They have believed in thee, witnessed thy wonders, acknowledged thy proof, and testified to thine evidence, and testified to thine evidence.
I know that where we are, where we stand, calling out to all to serve your fellow man. Shouldn't matter if you're from the north, south, east or west, just not to matter about how much we can.
Take charge of our destiny, not up to them, up to you and me. What future do we want now? What future do we want now? For our children and our family. Take charge of our destiny, not up to them, up to you and me. What future do we want now? What future do we want now? No, no.
Selfish mentality been ingrained at the core. Every man for himself, I want more, I earn more. Pandemic knocking on our doors, forced to stop, pause, reflect. This is but a glimpse of it.
In the hood we struggle, to hustle must feel like we living in a jungle. Hard life, hard times, God guide me through this real state of mind. Do we choose to hide, why escape behind our pride?
Take charge of our destiny, not up to them, up to you and me. What future do we want now? What future do we want now? For our children and our families. In building unity, we can be free. What future do we want now? What future do we want now? No, no.
I have a confession to make. I have an addiction. I'm addicted to the feeling I get when I serve others. I want you to all think of a time when you did a selfless act of service for someone else. Opening the door for somebody. Cleaning up a beach. Volunteering at your local animal shelter. How did that make you feel? It's a combination of happiness, adrenaline, and self-fulfillment. And today, I want to take you all on a picture journey of what I've learned over the past 10 years of running a nonprofit. Here I am, at 6 years old, shoving cans and bottles into a plastic bag, recycling for the fight against deforestation. Now, at the time, that's the only way I knew how to raise money. But I kept at it. And in 2008, I was able to start my own nonprofit organization called Kids for Our World. Kids for Our World has now planted over 16,000 trees in 8 different countries. As you can imagine, going into high school, the idea of service was nothing new to me. But don't get me wrong, being a freshman in high school is nerve-wracking. I was nervous, I was scared, I didn't know what to expect. But when we got to freshman orientation, we received a list of all of our graduation requirements. On that list was completing 30 hours of community service. Now, the teachers and staff eloquently called it a service learning project, which really just meant that teenagers were required to work for free. And let me tell you, teenagers hate working for free. But as for myself, I'm more of a freak of nature, you could say. You see, as of last year, I had over 550 recorded community service hours. And to tell you the truth, I know I've done a lot more, but I completely lost count. Because it's not about the hours, it's about the feeling I get when I serve others. In 2015, Kids for Our World took on its biggest project yet. A group of 7 ambassadors and I flew down into the rainforest of Central America to accomplish 3 main goals. Number 1, replant 2.5 acres of rainforest. Number 2, help save endangered species. And number 3, have a cultural exchange with the Maleku Indians. Sounds awesome, right? Now picture this. As we stare out of the window of our bus, we're anxious for the journey that lie ahead. The bumpy, unpaved road reminds us just how far we've come from our comfortable homes over 3,000 miles away. And after a day and a half of travel, we finally arrive. We're greeted by one of the Maleku Indians. Although he's a bit shorter than us, his presence makes him seem like he towers twice our size, arms thicker than tree trunks. And on his left hand, he held a machete, while extending his right to shake ours. And his name? Jimmy. I was not expecting that. Our project begins and we find ourselves glancing at a seemingly endless wall of lush vegetation. And following Jimmy's lead, we begin to push our way through the trees. Howler monkeys and birds soar above our heads, and the sounds of large insects echo throughout. 2 biologists accompany our trek, instructing us to collect seedlings along the way that will be used for a tree nursery. Now, this nursery is not only to help plant trees, but also to provide a safe, biodiverse home for thousands of endangered species. Now, the cultural exchange we had with the Maleku Indians was just mind-blowing. They teach us how to shoot bows and arrows, cook traditional meals, and tell ancient folk tales. In return, we hope to share one of our favorite pastimes, so we decide to play a friendly game of soccer in the village. Now, we thought we were going to be teaching them how to play, but boy, were we wrong. They kicked our butts 6-3. On that week, we all worked as one, despite our backgrounds being a world apart, and I realized my addiction once again. I am addicted to the feeling I get when I serve others. The sound of thunder approaches, and the sunny day quickly turns into a combination of wind and rain. And I look to my right and I see some of my team members returning from the forest, trying to catch their breath. I see more team members packing dirt into small plastic bags, while I see the rest of my team carefully planting the rest of the trees into the nursery while swiping the sweat and mud off of their foreheads. One of the Maleku that was working with us lived right next to the site. I looked at his home and I was in complete disbelief. It looked like a small shack, no doors, no windows, and holes in the roof that allowed the rain to seep through. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a small boy. He's not wearing a shirt, barefoot in the cold. I wave, he smiles and waves back, and Jimmy introduces us to the family. And to my surprise, there are 9 kids that live there. 9 kids, with a single mother and an elderly man we find out is their grandfather. And I think to myself, there are people around the world living like this, and sometimes I'm back at home taking what I have for granted. Now I see the boy once again. This time he's hiding behind his mom, a little shy, a little nervous. I ask him his name. Luis Miguel, he says. How old are you? 3. He holds up his fingers to show me his age. I put my backpack down and take out a soccer ball, but this isn't just any soccer ball. It's called the socket. You see, when you play with this ball for 30 minutes, it produces 3 hours of light, which is revolutionary for a third world country like this. I put the ball on the ground, pass it to Luis Miguel, and he just can't resist his love for the game. So he passes the ball right back. Soon enough, the rest of my team members join in, the rest of the kids join in as well for a combination of high fives, smiles, laughs, and hugs. And then the boy invites us into his room, and this is where the magic happens. See, his room is dark, but when we plug the light bulb into the ball, just like the ball, his face lit up with a smile from ear to ear. It was the first time that Luis Miguel had seen light in his room. Now this is what you see. Teenagers going down into the rainforest of Central America helping low-income families, right? This is what you don't see. What that 3-year-old boy did for me. Because at that moment, my life was changed forever. I pondered the question, who was really serving who? Who were the real heroes in this story? And I come to understand that every time we serve, there's a form of reciprocal service. Reciprocal service. What does that mean? Well, in this case, we were helping them in the moment, but they were instilling something in us that would be with us for a lifetime. You see, I was humbled by their simplistic lifestyle, humbled by the fact they invited us into their home, shared their hardships, but rejoiced in their blessings. It was their smiles, their laughs, and their thank yous that made it all worth it. So the next time you go out and volunteer, I invite you to remember and think about the question, who is really serving who? Because if we open our minds and we humble our hearts, we come to understand that those we serve leave a lasting impact in our lives. I hope that one day you can all find a passion that drives you towards that addiction of service. Because I am addicted to the feeling I get when I serve others. And let me tell you, it's a great feeling, and I know that you can feel it too. Thank you.